What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another installment of our straight wall hunting cartridge series. Today is going to be another video with 450 Bushmaster. Hopefully this is a redemption video, actually, for the CVA Scout V2 takedown. We just had this rifle out in a video with this federal non-typical whitetail. This is a 300 grain bullet. It's an exposed lead soft point. It's a 300 grain, like I said, going at 1900 feet per second. We had some horrible performance, horrible grouping, in my opinion. Now, that could have been the rifle, that could have been the scope, that could have been me, that could have been the ammunition, or a combination of any of those parts. So I told you guys in that video I was definitely going to explore other ammunitions from the factory. I'm going to be hand loading, but that's a whole different story. But I told you I would try something different because I wasn't happy with that group. I got in touch with my buddy Brad Branch. He's got a channel. You should check that out. He's really smart. He knows a lot about 450 Bushmaster. He knows a ton about reloading and guns in general. He said, oh, no, you've got to go with Hornady Black. He gave me another option, but one that stuck out was Hornady Black 250 grain. He says he really doesn't mess with anything else other than these two options that he gave me, this being one of them. So the Hornady Black, it's got an FTX projectile. 250 grains. It's advertised to be coming out of the muzzle at 2200 feet per second. So today's option is significantly different than the previous test. I'm hoping to get some accuracy out of this rifle. I've seen videos with these rifles where people have to play with 4 or 5 different ammunitions before they find one that shoots really great. These rifles, there's not much to them. They're single shot rifles. They should be accurate as long as your scope is mounted properly and nothing's moving there. You have a quality optic, which this is a SIG Buckmaster. I think that's quality in my opinion. Now, like I said, there's no moving components. This isn't a bolt action. It doesn't have to lock up tight. It's not a semi-automatic. You don't have to worry about gas and all those moving parts. This is just a single shot break action, closes very tight. It should be the same shot repeatable time after time after time. The trigger's very good. When I'm settled on my sights, when we were doing this previous test, nothing was moving. There was no excuse for that group other than the gun, in my opinion. I have witness marks on this scope. Nothing moved. So we're going to change ammunition. Supposedly, this is a really popular choice with 450 Bushmaster. When I bought this from the local shop, she says, oh yeah, the girl that sold it to me, she goes, everybody asked for this. This is the most common, most popular, most asked for load in 450 Bushmaster. 450 Bushmaster. So maybe there's a reason for that. We'll put that to the test right now. I'm going to shut up. We're going to do the same thing that we did before. We got the target set up at 100 yards. We're going to go through the chronograph, and I'm just going to group 3-4 rounds maybe. We might use one as a cold bore shot because that might be something to do with our grouping. But let's just see if we can improve on the federal whitetail, non-typical whitetail, non-typical BS, I think. All right, and I cannot guarantee that the chronograph's going to work properly today. The sun is directly overhead, and it hates it when it's like that. But 450 Bushmaster in the pipe of the 450 Bushmaster rifle. I made sure to double check. So I'm going to leave the video rolling. I'm going to try not to talk too much, but I don't want to cut up the footage down range. I'm going to take my time, though, because I want really well-placed shots. I don't even see where that one is. Hopefully we're somewhere in there. Yep, I see we're definitely in there pretty close. Much better. My scope cap flung off. And remember, these guns have extractors, not ejectors. So you do have to pull those cases out. All right, that looks like a pretty decent 3-shot group. Let's go take a look. I forgot to call out the velocities. That last one was 2250. I guess I'll take one more so I can get another velocity. This stuff gets expensive quick, but I got to get you guys at least somewhat of an average. Sorry, I got focused on shooting. I think those are all right in there. We have 2191. So camera guy said it was 2200, and what was the other one, camera guy?
2243.
For the first two shots, and then this last one, like I said, was 2191. So his good memory did get us an average. Well-bred branch buddy, thank you very much for the advice, because that tightened that up big time. That is a 1.868-ish group right there. I mean, you could take that other one out of there, and then you could tighten that down to about 1.3, but the honest group is definitely much better. I left the other group here. That's why I tore that target there. This was that whitetail stuff, and this stuff was horrible. I don't even know if my calipers can go that far. That's ridiculous. That's at least... that's being nice to it, giving it a 4.71. Horrible grouping, great grouping, and we're zeroed now with that gun, so very awesome. That is definitely a redemption. So with these straight walls, we've been zeroing at 100 yards, or confirming zero at 100 yards, and then we're also seeing what happens when we back it up here closer again at 20 yards, at least on steel. I'm going to put it on steel so you guys can hear the ring of the 450 Bushmaster, see what kind of report it gives us. But also, most of my hunting shots would be between 20 and 100 yards. So I need to see if there's a point of impact, point of aim shift here. I'm going to take it down to 6 power, and let's see how she does on steel. I'm not going to use the bag or anything. We're close enough. And it's a little bit low. I was definitely aiming in the center. And that's a trend that we're getting with some of these straight wall cartridges. They go just a little bit lower. I think 444 so far has been the flattest, but this is not too bad. Totally acceptable as a 0 for deer for my hunting application. No divot or anything, but pretty good splash, and it rang it pretty good. So there you go. Just a simple ammo change really improved our accuracy, changed how this gun works for sure. So for hunting, that's major. And just to make sure that everything's working properly with your gun, you can't be too sure if you're grouping something as horrible as this was doing. Now, I guess I did not understand this, but we all learned together. 250 grains is the sweet spot, I guess, for 450 Bushmaster. So as opposed to this being 300 grains, so by losing 50 grains, going from the 300 to the 250 grain, we're gaining the 300 feet per second in velocity. We all know for deer hunting, speed does kill. I hate that term, but speed kills. It really sets them down. It puts that shock into them. I do actually like the FTX projectile. I'm starting to not like reloading it sometimes, but the projectile, I think, is definitely better than this whitetail. So I don't know why they created this, but I think the Hornady Black would be the way to go. Now, for reloaders, you will have a little bit shorter brass. They trim it to fit that FTX round, but if you reload the FTX round, it's already trimmed pretty much for you. You'll have to trim it again maybe at some point, but in the meantime, we did get the accuracy we want out of this gun. I will call that a redemption. We'll be trying more factory ammos. I don't know if I'm going to stray too far beyond the 250 grain now that we found something it really likes. And I might actually hunt with this ammo, but we do have other things to try from other ammo manufacturers in the hot ammo department. So I'll keep you guys guessing on the offerings we have for that so far, but we do have reloads to mess with also. Hope you're enjoying the Straight Wall Hunting Cartridge series. It's definitely getting close to hunting time. We have many more ammos to go out of many more different firearms, and we're going to be doing many more types of tests. Thank you for watching this video, and until we see you next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep shooting.